Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. This video I am sharing with you guys how I do this look, which is my go-to daily look. If I need to be more polished or have meetings for the day, this is the look that or my face wardrobe look that I always have. I am in this video trying for the first time two products, one from Stella and one from MAC, and I'm actually gonna be, my first time ever, so you're gonna see my first impressions, I guess, candid impressions on those products. So I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I have to warn you, I will be starting with zero makeup, so if you guys are interested, do stick around. So this is me, no makeup. I'm getting ready to actually attend 2 meetings. I thought I would show you guys how I get ready, and so I've just cleansed my skin. I've put my under eye serum and I think my toner. So now I'm gonna prep my skin, and for today I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So I'm just gonna wait for this to set for a bit, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna run down a few of the things I am gonna use as my base this morning. So I'm going to use these 2 products. This is a Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I use the shade Y335, and for concealing I am using the Clé de Peau concealer. This one is in, I believe it's ochre. Yeah, it's in ochre. And then for concealing my under eye, of course, my ever trusted Lise Watier Color Wheel Concealer. This is my favorite eye brightening for the shadows in your under eye, which you can see right here. You can see that the yellow beige shade is my most used. Look, it's almost hitting pan again. So I think it's beginning to set now. I'm gonna start with my under eye. These kinds of products for the under eye, I really just like applying mostly with my ring finger. Once in a while for the redness around the nose. So usually the area around the nose is really a trouble spot in terms of evening out the skin tone for most women. It's usually where you get a lot of redness or discoloration. When that's done, I am going to begin with a Makeup Forever. So I actually begin a small size just around my cheeks because I'm just letting the T-zone concealer set. Of course, my damp Pro Beauty blender. Before starting my base complexion, I've also pre-primed my lips with a lip balm. So I usually use this, currently either I use Mario Badescu or this Japanese lip balm that I got in the drugstore. It's my favorite. You can only get it in Japan. It's like they're medicated. It's called a medicated lip balm. So this side, if you can see, has Makeup Forever Ultra HD on my cheeks, and this side does not. So now for the other side, I usually will dot foundation on my skin versus applying it directly with a sponge or a brush, just because then you lose less product this way. So that's one layer of Ultra HD. I'm then gonna come in with my Clé de Peau concealer, and I'm gonna conceal certain areas of my chin, which is also a problem area. If you're combination skin, usually you break out a lot in your chin, which is definitely typically me. So I am true combination skin. In fact, I just have one that's about to break out right now. I can feel it. So I usually will go in my T-zone with a heavier full coverage cream stick or long wear liquid foundation. I am going to blend that out still again with my beauty blender. We're done with complexion. I'm actually going to do my brows. So usually I would just comb my brows. And then I start with actually a Maybelline pencil. This I learned from a very famous celebrity makeup artist. It's the Maybelline Expert pencil that you can get in the drugstore. And what I do is I kind of just fill in my brows with this one, at least the sparse areas, just to give it a more defined shape before I come in with a more defining product. I'm very excited to be trying this palette for the first time. I've seen this, it's been out for quite a while, but I don't know, I just never reached for it. It's the Stila palettes. I've always been a fan of Stila eyeshadows. Honestly, I think they're better than Too Faced and even Lorac. The eyeshadows are made from Italy, and this one is called In the Mind. Look how gorgeous this packaging is. Most of my mid-range palettes I've actually given away or given to friends, but my Stila collection remains, I think, 100% intact. Look how gorgeous this is. It actually has something on the cover, and it says, "The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination." Albert Einstein. That is beautiful. So look at this palette right here. This is an all matte palette, and this one instantly reminds me of the Vice Art or Vice Art. I'm not so sure how you pronounce it, but it's the Pro palettes, and this one reminds me of their neutral palette. Look how gorgeous that is. So, and look how large this mirror is. Amazing. You can actually really just use this. So I'm gonna begin by putting a base, which is usually this kind of shade, like a washed out beige. I've already primed my lids with Painterly Paint Pot, and this actually looks like the powder version of Painterly. So adding a powder base that's this shade just allows you to blend shadow much better. This is a very basic, I usually start with. The next thing I do is I grab my favorite crown brush, blending brush. It's quite large, and I'm gonna use this kind of, I guess you can say, mocha beige, a shade darker, just to start giving my crease some contour. I'm sure you guys can see that it does get powdery though, but it is a gorgeous contour. You can see the difference of this eye and this eye. So I'm going to finish the right eye first before I do the left, and then so that way you can see how the finished product and the non-finished product. So if it was just a regular day, I could even end with this and just start lining my waterline, but I am actually going to try to put a bit more contour with this grayish shadow here. This is a lighter gray actually. You want to tap that off. And then what I'm going to do is add some highlight just with a white shadow here, just on my brow bone. So you could see the difference of this eye and this eye. I'll be back, I'll line my waterline. So now I've lined my waterline. I'm actually going to highlight the inner corner of my eye and my lower, not lower lash line, but the mobile part of my lids. And I'm going to use my current favorite, which is Champagne Pop by Becca. I'm using the MAC 239 brush, my favorite for this part. I'm sure you guys saw the difference that made. So now I'm going to go back in and still I'm using this crown brush, crease brush. And I'm actually going to go back to the palette, and I feel like I want to darken it still a bit. So I am actually going to use this chocolate brown right here. I'm actually going to mix these two browns right here. So far I think I'm happy with that. I'm now gonna curl my lashes and put mascara. I'll be back. So this eye is done. This is my, look at the difference of these. I look blind here. So I've done my waterline and I've done my mascara as well. So usually in a typical day, this is the most I would do. If I want to go heavier, or I need to go heavier because I'm doing something else important, I will just reinforce most of the things that I've already done. So I'm just gonna add another highlight on my brow bone, and I'm going to use this two light shades. This is the one I used earlier, and this is a light pink. So just with this kind of base, you can actually define or redefine or emphasize each feature more. I'm actually going to do that with my brows right now using the Bobbi Brown pencil in Blondie, or is it Blonde? Blonde, sorry. And you guys are going to see the difference here. Oh my gosh, it's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of situation. I used to think that strong brows were a bit too much, but now I can really appreciate it. So I'm just gonna comb this out. You can always use a Q-tip if you wanna maybe diffuse it a bit more. So this eye is done. I'll be back with this other eye. I thought I was filming, but anyway, so now we've done both eyes. I've actually started with my under eye brightening or concealing, so now they're more even. I've done exactly the same to my left eye as I showed you guys with my right. So now I'm using this Clinique airbrush concealer, and I absolutely enjoy using this, if not the NARS creamy concealer, for brightening my under eye after putting eye makeup. This one is in 08 medium deep. This is just a lot more convenient because it comes with a twist up pen. So you just want to brighten this area. And on the other side, sometimes you have to be careful because once you twist it, there's a lot that comes out. So that's usually where I go with that. And then I am just going to use, sometimes I use the Dior, this is the concealer brush, and just to pat that in. You can also use your fingers if you want. The fingers just really do an amazing job when it comes to the under eye area. But just for getting in the corners of the eye and just right under your lashes, there is nothing better than a concealer brush that's very fine, like this Dior one. So now that I've gotten quite close to the eye, I'm actually going to grab the pointy tip of my Beauty Blender sponge and just pack that all in. This is the first time I'm trying this, and it might be really strange for a lot of you, but I've always used Makeup Forever or Laura Mercier or Hourglass and Cargo HD. So I've never really felt the need to grab the MAC or to try the MAC Studio Fix. I am in NC30, which is my shade, and the reason why I'm trying this out is because in Manila, every makeup artist in a shoot, wow, that is like, always uses Studio Fix. This is a powder foundation. So this is what they use to pack things in, or to pack the face in. For the rest of my face, I'm actually going to be using the Dior Skin Nude powder. Pressed powder. This is just, it still leaves a glow, but it sets makeup or foundation really well. I'll be back. So I look a bit more human now with my complexion, but still very pale, as you guys can see. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do complexion now, and begin by warming or contouring my skin. I can see that I am very pale. So I'm actually gonna start with something. I don't reach for this on a daily basis, but this is Soleil Tan. I look crazy. This is Soleil Tan de Chanel, and I am going to show you guys. I'm going to use it with my Real Techniques. This is the contour brush. I cannot believe it, but the other day I could see that I'm hitting pan right in the center. So I am just going to swirl the brush around and so you can see how this side looks so much warmer than this side. I look like a ghost. So I'm just going to do the other side just to even that out. I'm going to go under the cheekbone, which you can feel. If you can't feel it yet, then you just do a fish face, or you suck your cheeks in like this. And then I just do the periphery so that I don't look so unbelievably pale. So I do the periphery of my face, and then my shape, the shape of my face is pretty angular, as you can see, so I don't really do much of my chin. I'm a very true heart shape, facial shape. I'm gonna come in with my illuminating powder. This is a blush type of product from Chanel Summer 2015. It looks like a bronzer, but honestly it's very different. If you have the Soleil Tan blushes from Chanel, bronzers from Chanel, or the Le Beiges in number 50, which I have, but I left in Vancouver, it's a very different kind of product. This doesn't really contour. It's really for the cheeks. And I'm using my current favorite, my Canibo brush, and I'm just gonna pack that in a bit. If you guys can see, it actually is a blush, or it can be. You can see how different it was than the Soleil Tan. Just using the same brush, lightly dusting Luminous Flush from my Hourglass blush palette. Last but not the least are the lips, and I've already primed them with my Rodial Glam Stick, Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. And then I don't want to go really pink. I actually have not been lately. So what I've been reaching for almost like religiously for the past months, this is the NARS Audacious and Barbara. And then what I would do, because sometimes I think I look too beige or too brown, I will top it off ever so lightly with a lip gloss, which is a bit more on the pink side, and even a very bright pink. This is almost like a very glittery lip gloss. This is a Miley Cyrus one, and this is the Buxom Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie. This one is collagen and is minty. While this one is a bit just more on the glittery side. So I think I'm gonna start with the Buxom and see how that works and show you guys as well. So that's the Buxom right there, and it's just very neutral and very beige, I suppose. But if I wanted something a bit more, this is actually gorgeous, but I just want to show you guys the difference. A little hint of this would do. It's not exactly very bad, but it just added a little more sheen to the lip. So that is about it. That is my finished look. This is what I do on a daily, almost on a daily basis. If I need to be more polished or I have meetings with people on a certain day, this is my go-to look. I hope you guys found that interesting and informative. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day or a great evening.